And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Summoner's Rift. It's game one of our grand final. We're going to have at least 3 games. If we can go the distance, Riku, to 5, I would be very happy. But our analyst desk, they say we're going to likely stop at game 4. I didn't even get your prediction just yet because you weren't on that desk.
Exactly. My prediction is actually 3-2 in favor of Mega. I really think this new Malaysian powerhouse is ready to face the Thailand squad. So this time around, we'll see. Game number 1 and a best of 5 series at that. A lot can happen.
Yeah, line of skirmish straight down the river. No one wanting to go for that early ward deep into the jungle. I don't see any reason to invade. Every position standing across from one another, looking to line things up. This would be huge for Empire. This would be huge for Malaysia if they're able to take home a victory. Have the opportunity to represent the country on the world stage, Riku.
And if that does happen, it's going to be the first ever for Malaysia. So imagine, just imagine, not only knocking down the Titans potentially, but also representing their country for the very first time in a world stage.
The Empire going to go ahead. Both junglers down toward the bot side of the map. They'll work their way up, or possibly we'll see some vertical jungling come out, depending on where Caspiel wants to strike first. Again, opportunities I'd like to see from Empire is oftentimes we see Empire, they're willing to give up that early game. You really want to try and give that up against Mega, though.
I mean, we've never seen Mega play from behind, so that's the difficult part. But if you step back a little bit on sprint qualifiers, they actually falter when they play from behind. You can see them, they have the tendency to go over-aggressive, just desperate to make a play. And I feel like if Empire does get that, which they can because it's a Renekton, it's a Jarvan 4, which can actually try to visit lanes and put the aggression on application, but you can see pings from the Jarvan 4 here.
Very early ward coverage coming out from Mega. They put down this ward, possibly anticipating Caspiel to come down here. That level 2 from a Galio is pretty deadly. You get that Justice Punch, you get that taunt in with a flash and ignite, it's usually a kill, but he wants to go ahead and make a play here in the mid lane. Knockup's not going to land though, as G4 is able to just maneuver around the flag.
Nice side step coming from G4, already ready for this Jarvan 4 jungle, but you know what? There is still the top side of the map. That's going to be Shine. Level 3 is going to be important here for the Renekton to get all the combos in, get that stun, knock up CC chain, and Rocky could be in a world of hurt if he gets a bad trade.
Look at that though, goes aggressive, doesn't have ignite just yet. Shine should be able to gain some of his health once he hits that level 3, but look at the positioning here. Caspiel has rotated up toward the top side, puts down the brush ward in case Rek'Sai is maybe nearby if they want to go for a gank, because honestly early on you would expect this Renekton to be a bit of a bully. Later on into the match though, Rocky on that Silas is going to have that extra little bit of just sustain that comes in from the Kingslayer.
Exactly, that's what I'm afraid of for Empire, because if they take their time, they're going to run out of chances to actually get through this game. But looking at their comp, they still have that insurance with Rabenna and Sair in the bottom side of the map, but June playing the patience game here on the brush.
Let's see, Shine, does he step forward? Realizing Rocky's not pushing into tower anymore. Shine realizes something's there, gonna go ahead, dash out. Jaejun shows himself in the top lane.
That is exactly why it's so nice to have a Renekton at the top side. You can get that early trade, but at the same time, you can dash out of the fight in case it gets a little bit sticky. And the thing is, June was waiting most likely for Caspiel. And I want to point out that Caspiel had a 2 Scuttler start. June didn't get any Scuttler at all, so he has to farm a little bit to get some more experience. Caspiel already finishing the Krugs, waiting patiently here. We'll see if we're going in.
I like that what Shine's doing. He wants to try and bait out the chain or the dash from Rocky so he can't escape from the gank possibly, but it looks like Caspiel realizing, hey, I'm spending a lot of time up here. They both are running Conqueror, but honestly, there's a ward that spotted him out just earlier because Jaejun left that behind as he walked out of the lane.
Mega, or rather June in particular, is reading Caspiel very well, but in the mid lane though.
Shuriken should be available for the Akali who wants to try and maneuver here. Gonna go into the cloak. Jaejun though, just nearby, gets the knock up, and now the claw over the wall is gonna go ahead and cut away the escape. Shuriken comes out, flash on forward, and it won't be enough to finish off the Akali, but Carino is gonna escape with their life.
All right, so June actually expended a flash there in exchange for Kirino's flash. I guess that's a win because G4 did not use his flash yet, so once he actually reaches level 6, but looks like 2 junglers about to meet.
Yeah, Caspill's going to see this a little late, though, on the smite, so he's going to get the little wolves, but that's all. J-Juns are going to also feed this information to the rest of his team, so bot lane now won't push out as far, knowing that the J4 could be nearby. First Dragon is going to be an Ocean Drake as well, so helps them out a little bit in sustain when it comes to the siege. But honestly, it's not going to be that early priority unless they want to re-roll that for a Mountain or an Infernal.
That's true. Either those important dragons that will definitely help taking objectives. But I want to say that it has been a trend for the bot lane, for Empire, and as well as Mega to be a little chill. As they definitely want to scale. But I'm looking forward to some plays from Sair, especially with the Justice Punch, just as I said it.
Taunt's going to land there. They have the taunt. No cleanse burn just yet, but look at that damage that went in onto Pop. Caspiel is nearby on the Jarvan. They want to try and get a little bit extra damage onto possibly Pop before they go for the dive. Fortunately, that minion wave is not pushed far enough just yet. I do believe they had vision of the Jarvan coming around through the tri-bush. There is a ward there. But honestly, it feels like they maybe didn't, and they're not respecting this possibility.
Okay, here it goes.
Yeah, Zaire there has the ignite, has the heal. Unfortunately, he's already going to be popped here, and Flag Drag's not going to connect as Lloyd is able to just dance around them. Zaire's taking tower shots, and oh no for Empire! The dive, the over-aggression gets punished. They don't even blow Lloyd's flash.
Wow, not even a cleanse either being blown, and my god, that was supposed to be a clean dive, but now I realize why Rebena goes for the Sivir, so that they can actually wave clear faster and manage to, what do you call this, for Caspiel to get in as fast as he can. But unfortunately it failed, which means June can just freely roam the jungle, and which means more control over the map.
Now, apologies there. Like you mentioned, the cleanse wasn't even blown on the Kalista. We'll take another look here on toward this dive. Riku, again, patience. We commended Empire yesterday during their team fights, but in lane, they just get a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, they're super antsy, and of course you don't want to feed Lloyd. Lloyd is one of the key players in this squad for Mega. Taunt doesn't even land, gets the stun last minute for the proc on the Braum passive, and that's why I feel like they failed. The next minion wave is about to arrive. Caspiel is isolated. They cannot go back because the minion wave was actually stalled as well. So, whew, that is a tough dive, and I feel like they have to be a little bit more preserved.
On top of that, too, Zaire is actually very lucky that Lloyd didn't actually rend an auto attack earlier, because then the Galio would have been slowed on top of that Jarvan getting killed. Could have been possibly a double kill going to this Kalista, but first blood is going to be drawn by Mega, responding to Empire's aggressive dive in the bot lane at 8 minutes. It's only a 900 gold lead, though, for Empire. And we know Empire, they're happy playing from behind.
Yeah, this is a trend that what they've been doing. They're very patient as well, and when it comes to the game, they can play slow-paced games as well, but that is also Mega's strength. So I will be a little bit worried, but if you think about it, Shine, that's where he shines. Getting that 1-4 in, split pushing, it's also Rocky's strength, but I guess if bot lane didn't work, let's go atop.
See, Shine is there, is going to have the stun. Caspiel not pulling the trigger here, though, on the side of Empire, because they realize the Rek'Sai could be nearby. Rocky has the Cataclysm stolen away from the Jarvan, opting not to use it just yet. Take here, CS, pretty even up in that top lane. It's mainly just that bot lane where Lloyd is on top of getting that first blood, is starting to amass a CS lead.
Exactamundo. At least BF sword already for the Kai'Sa, for Rebena here. But yes, every single time, you know, Caspiel tries to do something, either it's not a successful dive or maybe June is just in the corner for a counter gank. So perhaps since Lloyd is a little bit overextended, I'm just a little bit worried that Akali may not have the damage. Caspiel can supplement that. Always the Lissandra having priority here, so he is actually vulnerable, but because of the claw, it's quite difficult, especially Flash as well. Just realize it's a very scary comp as they have double TP, so the number advantage when skirmishes arrive, Mega can actually pull the trigger if they want to, get a pick somewhere, and overrun them with numbers, and then get an objective.
Pop here, stepping up. It's that Winter's Bite there, but is going to go ahead and back off. I will commend Caspiel as he's gone for these invades, has laid down vision. Fortunately, though, it has been cleared down. Jaejun comes back here into the mid lane. Cloak is going to be there for Carino. Has the ultimate available. Flawless execution. Needs to keep dashing, though, and is able to avoid. Jaejun ends up landing the Seeker coming out, but unfortunately, does not find the kill, and this Akali once again survives.
G4's the last flash, so that's why I'm a little bit worried, but, you know, they invested so much. Both ultimates have been used by G4 and Jun. No, not a flash, though, but it's still a win for the side of Kirino. But then again, this actually slows down the Lissandra a little bit, even though G4 has priority. He can't roam, go other lanes because the ultimate has been used. Gonna go back, reset.
Look at this. The amount of pressure that Rocky's been able to exert up and toward this top lane, he's gotten himself 3 turret plates. On top of that, too, they got themselves 2 in the mid lane. You take a look at the gold difference, we're already now creeping closer to a 2,000 gold lead that has grown, you know, in the last couple of minutes. I just mentioned that it was just 1,000 gold lead, Empire would be happy. Now you're starting to get a CS lead onto this Kalista. Has Bork completed. On top of that, you're running Hail of Blades on Lloyd.
Ooh.
He's going for those very quick skirmishes
Yes.
to then back off, and that's not going to look too well because unfortunately there is no escape this time. Zare could come over the wall. He's going to get denied though as G4 going to pick up the kill on the Lissandra.
Press W in the Shroud, and I don't have to know where you are. But this is very interesting because Rocky actually passed by the river because of the fog of war just hugging the walls. Rocky did not spot Caspiel getting that sneaky RH, and I feel like that's a very good exchange. A kill in the mid lane in exchange for a Rift Herald.
The big thing, though, is how they use this Rift Herald. If they're not able to use it before that 14-minute mark, maybe try and knock down this mid lane so the Akali can look to roam or something along those lines, it won't really matter for Empire. So the timer is ticking for them to try and make a play soon. We do know that they like to go for these early objective fights as a 5-man unit toward the bot side of the map around the Dragon, but already look at Mega. They are prepared for these flanks that could come out from Empire. They have littered the river with close to 6 wards, 4 of them being control wards.
It's like the protection, the wards for Lloyd just to make sure he has a safe lane, but going back to that Rift Herald that you were talking about, it really depends how they're going to utilize it, and based from the patterns that we've seen so far, it's usually used all the time from Empire at the top side of the map so that Shine can try and roam already. Kirino is going to clear that control ward, but he's going in!
Oh, that's a flash knock-up coming out from Jun, and G4 is nearby. The claw is down. They're going to jump on in, but it's a double taunt, and now Mega, they're trapped within the blue pit. Cataclysm coming back over the wall. G4 has nowhere to run, and Empire turn it around. Boat teleport's going to come up from the bot lane. 5 members of Empire now around this Dragon. They turn it around and close the gold lead.
Well, I feel like that was very, very aggressive of Mega, assuming the fact that probably the Empire bot lane is not going to be nearby, and because of that, they get a Dragon.
And you know what's different here, Riku? Mega just got punished.
Yes.
We have not seen this the entire tournament as far as the National Minors go and our C-Tour Major. And Empire, they're looking to add on to the totals. They're able to force the Fate's Call. Teleport, though, going to come out from G4. Does not have the ultimate available. Try and lock down. Galio ultimate, going to get him back on over to safety. They flash on forward. Lloyd going a bit too deep, but ends up getting the kill. Rabina gets the killer instinct, but they are still looking to chase him on down. Carino now back on the Akali. Teleported in, but can do absolutely nothing. In the end, it is still going to be a 1-for-1 trade. An extra kill went to Mega in the process, though.
And now because of that, the gold lead is back on Mega eSports, and that was a very aggressive and yet calculated decision. They know that all ultimates are down. They know that a couple of flashes are off, as in no summoner spells are on Empire, just one flash from Shine, which wasn't needed. He wasted a teleport, was not able to create impact, but at least they were respecting the numbers game.
Shine has to be a little careful in the lane. He's down to about half health, and look what ultimate Rocky has stole. He's pretty much hanging on to this and saying, I dare you to try and all-in me. Sure, you get a little bit of health, but I have an execute on my second ultimate active. And that really is for Shine. He wants to go aggressive. You can tell. He has that Black Cleaver. He's ready to go. He's looking to shred some armor, but he's just holding back. And for Shine, it's a little bit out of position because we like to see Shine try and go aggressive.
This actually reminds me of what the devs were talking about. I remember Urith bringing up how Shine can balance being aggressive and being a little bit more passive just to make sure that he wouldn't get baited out. But Rift Herald going to be unleashed here at top side, probably going to be expired already. Might as well use it here. And as the wave is crashing towards top, And still holding on to that Akali ult from Rocky, but mid lane going to be a trade here a little bit.
Reno doesn't have much energy, does get it back with the cloak. Could be safe here. G4 still being aggressive, has the Frozen Tomb available. One big factor now, though, that Empire have to worry about is Mega have been able to get a lot of deep wards into the jungle, and they were able to track Caspiel looking to roam down to bot lane while this Rift Herald was going for a play up in top. They tried to get Jaejun to come up for that top lane to answer, but honestly, he's just staying in the middle of the map, playing safe. And Empire, they're not able to really get much other than one Shelly charge.
This is actually what I want I like about Empire, rather, because, you know, Mega is always worried about the mid lane, want to play around G4, and as well as Rocky, make sure that he's safe because Shine tends to be a little aggressive, and they trust Pop to protect Lloyd here, but that's because, I mean, Caspiel will really touch every single lane, but just as I mentioned, you see Rek'Sai here, Jun, gonna probably do a lane gank. Yep.
Got the Void Rush available if he wants to try and go for this. We'll see, though.
Sneaky.
Empire's being very cautious here. There's a fake call. They're going to go ahead and throw the Brahman in, see what they're able to roll as far as the dice goes. Double taunt, though, coming out from Zaire. Nicely done. Caspiel's going to come down from the river. Akali also nearby, but just a little too far away to make an impact. Ward giving information to Mega about their location.
I love this game. This is a very... It's like back and forth for Empire in terms of aggression, and they both respect each other because they tend to back and not go all in eventually. Just right after that gank at bot side, it seems that Caspiel just really turned down the aggression a little bit on towards that slider. But we'll have to see a couple of pings. I see a couple of pings there at bot side. That's 3 members, and they back away.
Look at the defensive ward coverage coming out from Mega. This bot side is lit up. Honestly, like the Lowe's like lighting section back at the Home Depot or something back home in America. You cannot get through this jungle without being spotted by one of these wards that were laid down by Mega. And Caspiel, he wants to try and find these flank opportunities. That is what Empire did so well during their semifinals. Mega have denied this, and even Pop rotating up while they pushed up to get some wards down themselves. Empire, they've been trying to get some ward coverage in to try and track this Rek'Sai. Both teams, it does feel like we have ourselves a very even matchup for our final. It's 4-3. Mega have the 1 kill. They have a 2,000 gold lead, but again, it's only a 2,000 gold lead.
Exactly, and if you look at where the gold went to and where the kills went to, it's both at the AD carries of Empire, except for the fact that Lloyd is one of the star players for Mega eSports, and we see the first turret actually going down. Oh wait,
And
yes,
top
a
lane.
tap side. I was like, was that my imagination?
So this is big. Rocky, in order to actually be part of these fights, needs to now start grouping with the rest of the team. You have yourself this extra gold onto your Silas. You'd like to start possibly using it. It's only still a 2,500 gold lead. Baron's going to be joining us in about a minute and 40 seconds. Our next dragon is also on the table, on the Rift. It's going to be a Cloud Drake, so some extra movement speed, whoever is able to secure it. Caspiel really wants to go back, though, because look, he's sitting on 1,600 gold, and he wants to just, you know, get back. You want to spend that gold, or else you're not going to actually have that gold being utilized for your next fight.
But he's so afraid that something might happen when he leaves, and because of Shine... Oh, wait, hold that thought. He's afraid here.
He's trying. Shine can get a decent amount of damage. Rocky doesn't have a true ultimate other than Shine's, and that's going to force the Summoner out of Rocky. No flash on the Silas. Does have teleport. This is rather big. If Shine can force this TP out from Rocky to defend this tower, and then Empire look to possibly go for a play in that bot lane, that could be a huge swing of momentum back in their favor.
That is actually true. Getting that teleport advantage will secure the objectives, especially looks like they're going to have some action at bot. Both junglers are right there. Even G4 rotating at bot. Akali going back. Still no teleport just yet. Getting that topside turret as well for Shine, which means huge for this Renekton. He really wants to get that roam and duo Rocky here. But at this point, did Jarvan actually go home yet?
No, he's
No,
still been
he's like
sticking
pressing
around.
that B.
He's now sitting on almost probably like 2,000 gold at this point. He's been just clearing out rivers in the river, you know, getting rid of all these wards. That is going to be, though, the mid lane tower going down here on the side of Empire, and this now really opens up the map for Mega. They were having trouble exerting this ward line past the river. Now they can start invading in and try and catching out the Jarvan.
Exactly, getting more control over the map. That is how Mega goes. But now you see the B button not going to be canceled anymore by Caspiel here. Finally going to get that buy. But Rabina is going to be solo here. Probably decides to go back because it's going to be a little bit risky as Rek'Sai is already there as well.
Now Rek'Sai nearby, applying some pressure. So Mega, first thing off the checklist, you got yourself every outer tower. Now you got this 3,000 gold lead. Now you can start influencing the rest of the map, and you can start going for these neutral objectives like the Cloud Dragon.
Yeah, Cloud Dragon's so important here, especially for both Empire really like to do one for Mega and Empire as well. But we'll have to see. I see a couple of pinks there already going to try to do some scouting here, but that will, they'll secure the Dragon with no contest whatsoever.
Although you take a look now at the items starting to be finished off here. Gunblade on the Akali, of course. Big one for me, though. Lloyd has his Rune Ants now completed. That is your big, feeling good power spike on this Kalista, and especially now that the team fights are more likely to take place on the side of Mega. They're happy to go for this.
Yeah, if I were Empire, I'd hesitate a little bit if I see Lloyd in the best position. But if I manage to get that burst and full-on focus on towards their AD carry of Mega, then I'll be feeling confident because what am I up against? G4 and the Lissandra. Rocky, I'd be scared, of course. He is on Silas. Depending on what ultimate he gets as well. Key ultimate's probably Cataclysm for sure. And I'd like the Cataclysm just for the burst damage. But at this point, Empire will be a little bit more careful.
Because now for Mega, what they're going to be looking to do is you're getting these wards down, trying to get some vision on in. Because the big thing about having a Galio on your composition, you're pretty much saying, cool, it's a 5v5 in Baron, we will still win.
Yes.
Because we have that aerial denial. We also have the Cataclysm that will come out from Caspiel with the follow-up. It's really risky for Mega to go for an even fight in these giant choke points. But look at them, roaming as a unit, going up toward the top lane. Karino's got to be careful.
Okay, lots of control wards. They know that there's no vision here, and that's why their confidence sticking around.
Puts down a ward, but it's not the right way. They're going to get that Fate's Call out of Lloyd. Karino over the wall. Happy Feet able to escape with the flawless execution. Nice job there, even holding on to the flash.
Kirino, I just want to say he's one of the most consistent players in the squad of Empire, and watching him with every champion that he holds is just very beautiful to look at. And Empire, because of the, Mega, because of their commitment at top.
Oh no, here comes G4, but he ends up getting taunted immediately. Teleport going to come in from the Shine. Galio ultimate going to come back on down to try and protect Rabina, but they're right on top of it, and the Rek'Sai jumps on in, but they're not able to take down the Kaisa. They go forward though, as Rocky is now trying to be that pain in the behind. But it's a double kill on the Akali.
Lloyd has full HP bar all this time. No one was able to reach because they had other targets in mind, but that is still a 2-for-1. But at what cost? All HP bars? Oh wait, Kirino.
Karino's just trying to get rid of that wave, using that Q to get some damage. G4 got to be a little bit careful. Uses that claw, isn't actually going to jump underneath the tower, but they prevent the second tier tower from going down, and it allows the Kaisa and the rest of the team to come back into the lane and defend.
Well played by Empire, very patient, and I really like the confidence from Kirino as well. Because of that play, they deny another objective take from Mega, but at the same time, even punish them as they lost 2 kills or 2 members on their side with that clash.
And honestly, this was Mega looking to take this fight. You have G4 that goes over the wall, but instantly, CC comes out. He's lucky he's got a Frozen Tomb as an ult.
Exactly, and that Frozen Tomb was supposed to be used on key members like Ribena or Kirino, but it was used defensively. But Lloyd all this time was super safe. None of the taunts was able to reach Lloyd because he was in a very good spot. But yeah, G4 was so lucky to live through that all.
Now 5-5 our kill count. Empire brings the gold back within 1,500. We have a Dragon that's going to be joining us in 90 seconds. Baron's now still on the table. It's 24.5 minutes. 1 Dragon apiece. Big difference here is the 2 extra towers taken by Mega. Additionally, for Empire, the fact they were able to hold their own against this aggression that is being exerted here by Mega, This is starting to look like kind of the games Empire is able to come back and win during their superior team fights.
Yes, this is the first time in a long time we've seen, Mega actually not 100%.
You know what?
Yeah.
The Titans, they come on in. They're like, all right, we perfect game during the semifinals.
Yes.
This should be, they might give us a little bit of trouble. But you know what? So far, it feels like they have been matched.
This is it. This is why I predicted probably 3-2. We're not very sure. But Kirino really aiming to take this very brave 1v1 against Rocky. And Rocky respects Kirino here on the Akali. Both of them have sustain, of course. Gunblade already completed. Sterax as well. So this is the Tankali Kirino build for the Akali here.
Yeah, this Akali is actually going to be quite annoying to deal with. You might as well go, because Shine's going to go more of that off-tank bruiser style, so you have that extra damage. As long as you're able to survive and get your flawless execution off onto Lloyd and assassinate him, worthwhile. And then it's really hard to kill you. Let's see here with Mega. They position themselves toward the Mountain Drake. The only issue they are is at the moment, they're fighting onto a Scuttle Crab. Rocky's going to jump on in onto Carino, steals away the ultimate. Carino has his own ultimate. Here comes the Fate's Call on over. Jaejun going to use his ultimate to try and get to safety. A beautiful flag drag, though, coming out from Castiel. Frozen Tomb is available, but G4 cannot land it.
I have a feeling.
Look at mid
Wow.
lane. Empire, they find this opportunity, and Mega, they look to try and go for a play. Now for Empire, what do they decide to do? Mega feel like they're a little bit disjointed. Empire aren't too sure what's going on either. That's going to be a teleport coming on in from Carino on the Akali. And Empire, they're going to go ahead. They want to take this fight, and they are separated. So now Mega, here comes the Galio on from the ultimate. Shine goes in onto the back line. And look at the disruption coming out from Empire as Carino on the Akali gets another double kill.
Empire just won that team fight, only suffering the loss of Shine. And where do they go? Is it Baron? It is Baron. That is still 35 seconds towards G4. And the rest with Rocky and June, are they going to risk it? Are they going to do a steal? I don't think so. It's too risky.
And Malaysia, they are setting themselves up to repeat history, Riku, looking to take the first game of the grand final against Mega. So far, they now have found themselves a gold lead. On top of that, they will secure this dragon, which will be huge, and Carino's even looking for a Rek'Sai.
This is crazy. Kirino was part of Kuala Lumpur Hunters around 2018. He wasn't seen anymore, I believe, in Sea Tour, and now he's back. Look at him. He's doing the work. He's so brave, lingering around the area of Mega, and because of that, they get a Baron too.
On top of that, we got to see Mega, what looked like to be them panicking. That was them saying, we didn't get the kill. We exhausted everything. G4 wasn't able to get the Frozen Tomb onto the Akali, and that allowed Empire. Sure, they had two members in bot trying to go against a 2v5, but Empire, they had a minion wave in mid lane. They were able to push it on forward. We'll take another look here at the remaining fight afterwards, because Pop, he gets a little disjointed. Lloyd gets caught out, and that's where they start to panic.
Exactly. Caspiel is in the middle of it all. Pop and Lloyd actually forced to use a flash. Kirito with a flank. Shine just stuns like 3 people, and they managed to live to the point that a lot of the backline members of Empire do the DPS, and what a fight! Empire is doing it!
You also pick up a Mountain Drake after that. Now with the Baron buff, the question becomes, what are you able to gain? They get some of the freestanding gold that's been on the map now. They even out the turret count. That's step 1. Now you want to try and get one of these second-tier towers. The issue, though, is we've seen teams many times, second-tier towers can be the death of a squad if they overexert themselves trying to force a play.
Exactly, and Empire should, they have the lead. Look at Kirino hugging the wall. And I just want to point out, though, you know how much Mega respects Empire? Because they had time to actually get the Earth Dragon in exchange for the Baron. But because of Kirino just around as well, they respected the fact that potentially they would suffer more instead of gaining. So at this point, it's defense mode for Mega eSports and Empire. Man, oh man, they are feeling it right now.
We'll see here. Now starting to push on in with this Baron buff, trying to get some chip damage before it gets cleared out. Again, 3 members of Mega. It's a 1-3-1 coming out from Mega. Meanwhile, 1-2-2 from Empire. So this mid lane could be a target from Empire if they want to go for it. Zar is nearby with the Galio, had the taunt available, didn't end up landing it though onto the Braum. Split push in the top lane coming out from the Akali. They're going to wait for these waves once again with the Baron.
Well, Mega in the mid lane does have a strong engage with June, but will respect that instead. Ribena, take note, has a QSS already in his inventory. So in case the Lissandra flashes in for the Frozen Tomb, at least there's some sort of safety. But Kirito is going to go against G4. So much respect once again. But look at that, all in.
Respect is there. Carino wants to get these kills. And for once, we get to see G4 have to deal with an assassin, and he's respecting it. This was the man who came out, played Zed in the perfect game yesterday, was able to, in all essences, flex onto Capital. Now on the Lissandra, has realized his place. He has to back off. He has to look for the team plays. Look at this Empire. They get themselves 2 additional towers. They want to try and crack open this inhibitor instead. They go ahead. Shine's able to go for the 1v1 onto Rocky. Rocky's looking to delay, though, as long as possible. Has the stopwatch available. Redemption's going to come out. Here comes the rest of the team. Mega, they're in a bad scenario. They need to escape, but they won't be able to, as now the engage comes on, and Lloyd gets chunked. Fate's Call, though, looks to go for a counter engage, but it's not enough. Double kill from the Kaisa, and Empire are just looking to build toward their throne and try and take down the Titans in game 1.
It's so weird seeing this. I mean, Mega all this time have been winning and very dominating in every game that I see, but this is a different scenario, and Empire is aiming to get...
G4 goes with the engage, but he has to stopwatch immediately. Frozen Tomb isn't available. G4 is just trying to delay the inevitable. Empire, they crack open the inhibitor tower. It's 8-11, Riku. A 6,000 gold lead for the underdogs in game 1 of our grand final.
This is what we were talking about last year when Ascension was playing from behind. They really get desperate. They're desperate for kills or a consolation prize, a consolation kill. And right now, they decide not to chase Jun. But at this point, only the inhibitor right there. There's no inhibitor turret anymore at bot side, which makes it a little bit more difficult to actually contest Baron when it spawns, because Rocky or G4, who both have teleports, have to keep an eye on that just so that they're able to make sure that it doesn't march towards their base.
And to reference how dominant Mega have been during this tournament, I don't think anyone has taken an inhibitor tower off this squad during the 2 weeks of national minor play, or the 2 weeks of national qualifier, the national minors that they played, and the semifinals from yesterday. I do not believe anyone has taken an inhibitor tower. That is how dominant this Thailand squad has been. You have Empire, who weren't even the favorites from Singapore and Malaysia. They upset Resurgence by all accounts from on the paper. As far as, you know, the tape said, this team should not be the one representing this region, but they are proving doubters wrong.
Proving them that they're wrong, and Empire?
They're looking for it. Vina's there. They can't get too aggressive here. Zar, just a punch forward, keeps the stun available. You got the Akali walking nearby. Rocky's going to steal the ultimate. I don't think anything else, though, is going to come out of it.
All right, because Empire has a lot of map control already, they have both of these neutral objectives, the Baron and as well as the Dragon, about to spawn as well. So it's about the dewarding game, establishing vision, make sure that whoever tries to walk in, maybe perhaps try to put some vision on the side of Mega, at least they are able to some punish. But look at that, 512 on Kirino, 406 on Ribena, 035 on Renekton. But right now the dynamics, the scare, here, G4.
He's looking. He's on top of a lot of wards here. Carino, look at this. Mega, what do they do here? You feel like Empire's trying to make a play. Instead, they back off, deny the vision from Mega to force them to have to face check this Baron. All in the meantime, Shine, Rocky can't deal with this Renekton in the bot lane. He's pressuring onto an inhibitor.
Oh my, they gotta do something.
He's just going for a 1v1. You can see in the bot side vision here.
Anyone?
Empire are going to get both a inhibitor and a Baron unless Mega pull a play here. Teleport's going to come out from Rocky. Shine needs to answer with his own. He will. It's going to be a 5v5 in the middle of everything. Lloyd is trying to kite for his life. Is he able to escape, though? He's able to keep kiting back, and Mega, they finally find themselves a fight they've been looking for. Shine can't do anything. Caspiel tries to go to safety. Binion's still on that bot side inhibitor, though, and they are knocking, but Mega, they find their answer and can now position possibly for the Baron.
Oh my G.
Shine is healthy.
He's very healthy. Is he aiming for when everybody's low, he's just going to slice and dice
I think it is. Caspel's come back from the base. He didn't die during this last fight. He was on a control ward. Jaejun's coming around the corner. Shine, look at him. He's going to position here.
Ooh.
That's going to be the Bloom coming out. Do they try and make a hero play? Pop's down to pretty low health. Caspel needs to get into this pit somehow, but you're trying to outsmite Callista. Are you going to be able to? No, the Frozen Tomb's going to deny the entrance. Mega pick up the Baron.
Yikes, so that is it. Mega finds the fight that they want, wins that, and what went wrong there is because I believe they all wanted to jump on towards Lloyd, but forgot that the positioning of Ribena was very, very open to other dives like Jun. And as you can see, they jump onto Lloyd, and the SAR taunt was actually denied, so it didn't work out. Lloyd still had flash then, and all the slows in the world from G4, and as well as the knockups, the CC, everything else. And as long as you kill all the carries, Kirino and as well as Ribena, then you're fine. Because right now we're at that point of the game where Renekton is there to supplement additional CC, additional sustained damage. But if you kill Ribena and Kirino, it might be a little bit difficult to win that fight.
All the meanwhile, though, silver lining for Empire was they did break the bot lane inhibitor. The minions were able to finish off the job that Shine left behind. That does allow them to get a little bit of pressure from Shine. Doesn't have the teleport, though. They should be putting that Akali possibly down there. Instead, they're going to opt for a 1-3-1, but we have seen Mega. Now that they realize that Empire is willing to split up their team, they're not afraid to pull the trigger and go for a dive.
Yeah, with Baron as well, the Mega still has to pick up the pieces as a lot of inner towers still intact for Empire, so they still want to just manage the waves. And the Empire, kudos to them, always making sure that the waves are shoved in their favor, just to make sure in case that they lose the fight, at least no towers will be lost after that.
Go ahead, clear out the minion waves in mid lane. It's an 11-11 kills, 3 elemental drakes for Empire. They have themselves the 4 extra towers. Guardian Angel now completed for Jaejun. This Rek'Sai can now look to try and dive in on the back line. We also saw Lloyd now on this Callista during that last fight, how difficult it can be to lock him down. He doesn't have flash available, but he still has the cleanse for that Galio stun that you can almost guarantee Zar is going to prime and ready and try and flash right on top of him.
And because of the Fate Skull knockup as well, there's just so many denies, or rather answers for, you know, the hard CC from Empire. Caspiel gonna do the warding duties here. Gonna try to spot out if they can get a pick here.
I like this from Empire. They know their strength. They can go in and possibly find it, though. Unfortunately, the taunt doesn't go through the rest, and the animation, they are able to push them back, and Jaejun does not have his flash available anymore on the Rek'Sai. They don't pick up the kill. They don't pop the GA. But you can tell Empire know how they win.
Definitely. With that, teleport available for Kirino. But looks like Rocky's not going to push through that push on towards the outer turret. But because of that push, Empire has to reset and go back and most likely take a breather and not be a little bit too aggressive because they already lost one fight. It's understandable. It will attack your mindset that you will play a little bit, you know, less aggressive at this point.
Although it just comes down to the execution of the team fights. It's a 2,000 gold lead. Honestly, it doesn't matter. For Empire, they're looking to find a way into this game to try and close it out. They were able to break open the inhibitor in bot lane with the help of the minions. They did give up the Baron. Baron's going to start respawning in about 2 minutes. That's going to be the next time we see Empire and Mega likely clash. We also have what appears to be now an Elder Dragon, and for Empire, that's also a big one because they were able to gain some nice insurance stacks called Elder Dragons. They have 3 of them.
Yes, siree, and that's going to be a juicy target for them later on, especially, just as you said, on Empire side, as they gathered a lot of dragons on their side. Meanwhile, Air Drake for Mega really going to help them at the later, which is the late game right now. And still in control, Empire doing a good job doing this 1-3-1. And Mega, because they're the type that is very textbook style, they wouldn't want to dare and do anything too drastic and work as a team and make sure that it's very calculated 100% that they can win the fight.
Empire We've seen this before. They have control wards. Castle almost getting caught out, but look at Zaire. He's able to zone away the rest of the team. Cleanse is going to come out. Shine wants to go in onto the back line. Redemption going to come on down, give health back to the team. Galley Ultimate going to come on down, is able to pop in onto Lloyd. Fate's Call comes back out. Pop is in the middle of everything. Somehow, though, Rocky is able to find the kill. Can they take down Empire, though? I don't think it's there. They're stuck in the red buff pit, though, and it's up to this Akali to somehow find the kills. Unfortunately for Carino, it might not be enough. Has to pull off a 1v3. Unfortunately, they're going to get smacked down. Triple kill for the Rek'Sai. And unfortunately, Empire, it's looking like it's crumbling.
55 seconds for Kirino to spawn and the rest as well. Man, the first one to spawn Sar was 2 supports died at the initial clash, but that's a pretty long timer for me.
Look at that. That's 30 seconds on your Kai'Sa. Mega have stolen away the grip of this game from Empire. Inhibitor tower in mid lane, and that's the thing about Mega. You make one bad mistake here, it can cost you. You lose 2 towers in mid lane and your inhibitor.
Well, let's take a look at that fight here. So that was a very good bait from Caspiel. Obviously, it was a bait getting that ward. And as you can see, Ruben is in a very safe spot, but in range for Lloyd. So they back away a little bit. Kirino was bothering the Galio, but because of the Grand Entrance, managed to save or be with his teammates. And Sar died actually in that fight. June, this is the red buff fight. It's like everyone is there. It's a party. Kirino at this point is there because he's a Tankali. He's there for the sustained damage. And therefore, if Ribena dies, then it's really hard to shred towards, you know, these June on the Rek'Sai as well as Silas for Rocky. But
look at this from Mega, though.
Elder.
They realize Empire could really enjoy this Elder, so they're going to be the ones to take it here first at 41 minutes. Gold shifts back in toward their favor, but Baron is alive, and Empire, they're making the call.
This is very difficult because, I mean, Baron fight, this could end it all potentially. Look at the AD carries, the lifeline has already, he's back in cooldown. But the QSS as well, so that's a good sign. It means that they're ready to fight just in case things go south here in the Baron pit. But
do you feel confident enough, though? Do you feel confident enough to possibly go on toe-to-toe against a Galio in the Baron pit? In the Baron pit against Mega at this point.
Well, they can't have smited. They have the Ren from the Callista. But this is a little bit risky. No Guardian Angel to June. They're going to start it.
Here we go. Empire wants to jump on in. There's the teleport from Shine. Galley Ultimate's going to come down, but it gets interrupted. Rabina has so many shields on this damn Kai'Sa, but they're not anywhere close to the fight.
Ooh.
The Akali, though, is currently 1v4ing, and Shine is trying to get off back. Here's the question, though. Is Lloyd going to be the target? They jump on top of it, but the Callista is still outputting enough damage. And on the back of Lloyd, Empire are not able to finish it off. And Mega, they're able to turn it right back around as Rabina's getting hunted in the jungle.
Look at the waves. They're already marching towards the mid lane. This is a lot of death timers on the side of Empire, which means Mega is open to take the Nexus towers and possibly end the game.
Rocky alone here. He should be able to do it. That was already one Nexus tower taken by the minions, and unfortunately for Empire, it looked so good in the early game, but you can't just go toe-to-toe with the Titans and expect for them to go easy on you as Mega take game 1.
That was a shocker, and imagine the fact that Empire managed to cause panic on the Mega side, but at the same time, when late game came, it's like Mega's game already.
No, Mega. Disgusting display there to turn around some of these fights. It was always so close, down to the wire. But they just couldn't kill that Callista fast enough. And we saw so many fights where Lloyd was able to kite back through the jungle, especially during that Baron fight. Sure, Akali's 1v4 but if Lloyd's not dead, that is not your main target.
Yeah, the lifesteal is insane for Lloyd. No one was able to burst Lloyd down. And I mentioned history repeats itself. There's another history that has repeated just now. Kuala Lumpur Hunters always manage to get the early lead, cannot close it.
Well, it's going to be Mega taking game 1 of our grand final. For us, though, we need a quick breather, so we're going to go ahead and send it back on over to the analyst desk. Fish, take it away.
Thank you, Opal and Rico. We're going to break down that last match because it was back and forth between Empire as well as Mega, but unfortunately, I think both of you have kind of come to the common consensus that this wasn't good plays making it back and forth. This was mistake and fumbles making this very back and forth throughout that match.
Look, you know what this is, Fish? This is for Mega picking up that first win. Yes, it looked a little bit sloppy. I didn't feel like that first game really represented the kind of skill level that they were supposed to demonstrate coming into this. But I will attribute that to Empire as well, being able to capitalize on mistakes. So we at least know both teams know how to play around the opponent's mistakes.
Yes, I think also not being able to use their advantage as how they're supposed to be. They're super ahead early game, not being able to snowball even harder, just end the game early. It's not good.
And I know one of the things that you really wanted to focus on is this draft. Granted, you were very vocal backstage that Mega won the draft. And it was just one pick that you thought differentiated these two teams that made it so that Mega won the draft. Why?
I mean, you pick up the Galio, and it works pretty well with the composition that you have. You get the Javan, you have that delivery system. But I felt like letting the Kalista go through and not even looking at Kalista as a possible option, going instead of the Kai'Sa. You know, I think Ashe could have been a better fit for that, but I think the main problem overall was the Akali pickup. Akali, sure, it was this problem for Mega to deal with. They had to constantly invest so many resources to try and lock it down. Oftentimes, you just kind of go, how is this Akali still alive right now? But ultimately, in the end, I felt like the impact for the Akali was lacking towards the end. There, sure, he had some damage, but he couldn't keep his AD carry alive. He couldn't contribute more to the team. And I think ultimately that was their downfall.
I mean, it was neck and neck the entire match. That was the pick about phase. We thought it was fairly safe from two teams. We didn't see the Taric ban come out like what we saw from Liab yesterday. So Empire not showcasing a Sono Taric composition that was threatened throughout yesterday's best of 3 matchup. But at the end of the match, when the teams went into that final team fight, it was dead even, 75,000 gold apiece. The final gold difference only came from the final team fight going towards Mega.
I do think it's also item build issue and a draft problem. Like, I feel like they actually picked champions that would have been more beneficial if they did the proper split pushing, like when they had that Baron fight over there and Renekton was split pushing, but they kind of forced team fights instead.
So let's go and start to break those down. And we're going to start with the first mistake we noticed, which was the bottom lane dive coming from Empire. Brandon, you pointed out so many things as Count Dracula of what went wrong here. What went wrong for Empire?
I mean, so many problems. First off, coming into this, I felt like they shouldn't have gone for the dive at all. It was problematic. It didn't feel like the composition that they had was going to be able to lock down onto the Kalista and onto the Braum. They had the cleanse, they had the heal, 2 defensive summoner spells. Compared to the tools that are available onto the Galio, I don't feel like that was enough. And even with the Galio, and especially with the Galio not flashing in the taunt, I mean, that taunt came in perfect timing. I felt like they could have come up. The best scenario is probably a 2-for-1 trade. The more likely situation was a 2-for-2 trade, but then the fact that Ribena also ended up being the first person to tank the turret for the South Empire was just another problem that compounded onto what they already had and ultimately just lost that first blood.
Yeah, it looked like a really good trade for them. Even a 2-for-2, like you mentioned, backstage would have meant that the minions crashed in, would have fell down as well. So, nice attack, just wrong execution coming out from Empire. That was the first mistake we really noticed from Empire, and there was a few that trickled throughout. But the one thing that really stood out coming from Mega was how much tunnel vision they had towards Carino. It was non-stop throughout the match, how they tried to focus Akali over and over again, and it actually led to the first team fight that went massively at Empire's favor.
Yes, we definitely can see here Renekton already having the items and dealing the damage, dealing with 4 people at the same time, allowing his teammates at the back to finish the prison, and then they just won the fight from there.
Yeah, but it stemmed off the larger problems as well. This was a great team fight for Empire. That was fantastic from them. They got Baron at the end of it. But this was after so much was expended to try and cut down Akali over and over again.
Exactly, and that's been a problem that's been from the beginning of the match when they started investing Rek'Sai into the mid lane. You can see how Akali was able to get away from a lot of those fights even without expanding Flash. And when you start investing more people, because the Flash was still available, you bring in Pop from the bot lane, you bring in June from the jungle, and that's still not enough to kill off this Akali, and that became a recurring trend for Mega to deal with. They lost a lot because of that.
And I'm going to say, hats off to Carino though. He did kind of put on his best prison break performance during that entire match. Every time they tried to chase him out, there was very few times where he was actually locked down by the multiple threats that were trying to chase him down. At the end of the day though, Empire wrestled a lead for themselves. 6,500 gold ahead. Split pushing as we expect Empire to do, as Shine has done this entire season. Classic split push for Baron play, trading inhibitor for a Baron, and it was a huge mistake coming in from Empire.
Yeah, at this point, they needed to make a decision if they wanted to go for the Baron or the inhibitor. Instead, they try and say, no, let's go for the fight against Mega. Mega collapsed in on this. And at this point, it's the perfect point for Mega to get this team fight. The flash away from Kalista. Lloyd barely survives, and that's really the team of a lot of these fights.
And you have to think, City, this is the exact mistake that Resurgence made against Empire, for Empire to win the National Minors, and now they are the ones making that mistake against Mega.
I think this is actually a recurring problem in our region, like being super ahead in gold but not being able to close the games.
No, and I also just want to quickly add as well, if you look back on the previous games that Empire have had, right? Honestly, in a lot of the matches, if Ribena ends up dying in the team fight, the first person to die in the team fight, even if Ribena goes down, the rest of the team comes in and fulfills that damage role for the team. But because Akali had to go for more defensive items, going for that Sterak's Gauge, going for the Death Dance to try and survive against a lockdown from the enemy team, Kirino wasn't able to provide that secondary damage dose. Instead, it went down to Ribena, and that's very uncharacteristic from Empire.
And it came down to the two final team fights that kind of decided the match, both of them going in Mega's favor. The two team fights that won after the Baron was taken. And we really looked at the performance. Despite all the mistakes, it seemed like Pop was the standout performance coming in for Mega in that match. That's insane. This man rushes from the hospital to come and play the Grand Finals, checking himself out of the hospital to come and play in the Grand Finals, and has an MVP performance in Game 1.
Yeah, this is really impressive coming in from Pop because he had so much pressure from the bot lane, moving over to the mid lane as well. I mean, you really gotta give this guy credit. He was that stable rock that kept his team alive for a lot of these team fights. Yes, oftentimes Mega were losing the team fights, but it was like a 3-for-2 trade. It was just a sheer quantity of the team fights they were taking that was the reason why they were behind in kills. And Pop really managed to keep them in the game long enough for Lloyd to come online.
Yeah, so we got to see a really good performance coming out from Mega at the very end there. Mistakes back and forth. I want to start with you, Cindy. What needs to change from either side or both sides coming into Game 2?
Yes, first of all, of course, the draft. I'm like, they need to stick with their game plan. If they're gonna go with an Akali who's supposed to serve as a distraction, and then meanwhile giving Shine some space to split push, they have to stick with that idea instead of like forcing team fights and just not playing to their strengths. I
mean, I felt like Empire played pretty well. Perfectly honest, I thought that Ribena came in, Zeri came in, they played the bot lane pretty well. I mean, apart from that dive, I mean, let's wipe that from our minds for a moment. They played that bot lane pretty well. They got the lead.
Even
got
the final two team fights, do we wipe those two as well?
Just wipe away everything they did wrong, right? But that being said, even looking over to the mid lane, I felt like the Akali pick was really the thing that kind of drew away from the team's identity as a whole. I think you change up the Akali pick. I felt like the way that Casper was itemizing as well, a more tank-based solution, because you have the 2 additional carries in that top lane, in that mid lane, was something really beneficial to Empire. I just think they need to switch out the mid laner for something that Kirino is more comfortable to be able to carry on, and with something with more wave clear.
Well, granted, you said this was going to be a 3-1 going in Mega's favor. Now, when you were describing that, you said it was going to be a very one-sided affair for Mega, with Empire taking a single game away. After Game 1, which was very close all the way to the final 50-minute fight, do you still think it's going to be a heavily Mega favor thing, or do you think Empire have brought their A game today?
Look, I mean, I meant it as Empire in good form. They can't take away that one game.
Okay.
Mega, apparently in bad form.
Just backtracking a little bit, you know?
Step back.
Backpedaling.
But that being said, I still have faith that Mega can pick up that 3-1. I just think that Empire need to be able to... I think it will be a little bit closer as we head towards that final game. I feel like Empire do their best when they're backed against the wall.
What do you think, Cindy? Closer than you expected?
Definitely closer than I expected, and yes, we did expect them to drop a game and maybe like kind of get used to the play style and kind of build a strategy around it and make sure, learn what not to do for the next game. So we'll probably see them, make better picks and like stick to their plan better.
Well, that was Game 1 between Empire as well as Mega in the Grand Finals of the LST. We're going to go take a break. We'll come back with Game 2 just a bit.